Hello, my name's Danny Gamble. I think a lot of you know who I am in our industry. And I'm going to be putting a few tapes together tonight. And I'm going to be eating my dinner in a whole bit because this is the time we get some days. My tapes are going to be regarding what I would call a fiasco last Sunday. I watched the videos this morning and then went off and got some checks and did some banking and errands, and I just gotten home and I just figure, you know what, I need to contribute. I actually, you might say, well, why weren't you there Sunday then? Well, actually I was lined up to come Sunday, and yeah, lo and behold, one of the issues I had right away is the fact that it says right there, clear as day, you know, apprentice and background members do not have a vote to help form the committee, which makes decisions based on the whole of us as a union. And right there's a big problem, isn't there? Because the word union means, you know, union, to unite. It's that simple, just to unite. Unite as a group, and with the group's voice, have some influence on wages, job situations, safety, you know, particulars to night shifts, early shifts, all the different ramifications of it. Come united as a group so that we can voice as a group and therefore influence, hopefully, to our betterment. That's not this union. This union is, it's kind of funny because it's a caste situation, sort of like in India, although we caste people all the time, don't we? But it's literally structured where there are the full-time union members, and then there are the apprentice members, and then there are the newbies, which are the background members. And, you know, background have to have their, now it's 15 credits, or 15 days worked on a union production, and then they can apply. And then they need another 200 if they don't get a line or, you know, an acting gig or a stunt or some other form. Then they would need to do 200 shows, or the equivalent in hours of 8 hours, so 1,600 hours past the 15, so 215 actually. And to get their apprentice, which is how a lot of people nowadays get their apprentice, due to the fact that we're not a strong union, and most people from the States now come bring their friends and their family up to do 1 and 2 lines, and people are saying, well, no, we still get stuff. Yes, we do, but again, it's being pooled to the top ones. As is, you know, stand-in gigs, and alarm bells are going off, which is why I'm doing this today. I'm going to go into this a lot more, but so it'll be more than one tape. But alarm bells went off as I just had it certified. I've heard from more than one person now that you guys are scheming, and by you guys I mean you full union members that want to, you know, make life even better for yourselves and less for the rest of the members. You might say, oh, no, we're not like that, but you are. As I couldn't vote to see who would be on our committee, your vote might have changed if others were allowed to vote, if apprentices were allowed to vote, if background members were allowed to vote. And you know what? Once you accepted, or not accepted, once you decided you needed our money and you wanted us to be signed up so that we could no longer do non-union productions, non-union commercials, which are huge, obviously, in BC, and which actually makes some people decide not to even become members, because, you know, they can't do commercials, because probably 80-90%, as you guys stated in your last meeting that I just listened to, 80-90% was just the numbers thrown out are non-union. So you basically get people signed up, and then you go, no, you can't do this because you're part of the union. You can't do a non-union production. However, you're also not full union, so you can't get medical, dental. You are going to be blocked out as stand-ins. You're going to be blocked. You guys are calling it right of, not a right of entitlement, but would be a good word, right of engagement, booking engagement, however you want to word it, sorry. But yes, right of work engagement. And I'm like, are you guys kidding me? Within that same meeting, you are absolutely whining about America having landed jobs, and you're not even aware of it. You're wasting your time on auditions, and it's not fair, and you guys should be allowed to, you know, honestly audition for a job that's really a potential job, and it shouldn't be all just, you know, secretly squirreled away for the Americans and you're wasting your time and don't have a shot at it. Do you see how this is similar? You're saying, well, you know, you guys, you're members, but yeah, don't worry. You get a stand and even a day gig, one of the people on the floor is going to jump up there, and it could be, you know, it could be me, I could be matching, say, Arrow or someone at 6 feet, 200 pounds, or 210, and pretty much a perfect match. Damien Dark, I was a match for, and I actually did photo double for him. So you guys could say, oh, no, you can't. We're going to give it to that 5'2" lady over there because she's a full member and you're not. And you guys will all be right now saying, well, that's the way it should be. Hypocrites, come on now. You should be the best person for the job, shouldn't it? Just like if you're a better actor or you're as good an actor and you're already in Canada, why don't you get those roles for Canadians? You know, why aren't Canadians getting the roles? Why aren't you getting the roles? So you want the roles. You want the Americans, you know, to be not treating you as secondary citizens in the industry. You know, ACTRA coming, was it ACTRA? Or, anyways, their union's allowed to come up here and work. Our union's not allowed to go down there and work, which is, by the way, how the hell did that ever get negotiated? Well, what were you guys thinking? Whoever, what did you guys go back to? 60s, 70s? These were done and we're going to slowly have to change it, but for whatever we give, we have to give something back. No, this isn't 60s, 70s anymore. If the industry's increased huge here, which it has from one show someone mentioned, to up to what it's going on now, so should have the standard of work increased. That's how you should have been negotiating. Hey guys, you guys are doing more productions here, you're making more money from shows from here, movies from here, TV, series, everything. Therefore, our people here need to be getting more work and enjoying some of the fruits of the labors that are going on in BC or Toronto or anywhere else, Winnipeg, Alberta. So for whatever reason, you keep negotiating at the low level of when we were just starting out and saying, well, we have to give, we have to take, we have to give, we have to take. No, that's not how you negotiate in real life, especially if Americans. And then there was actually, sorry, I apologize because I know you, the guy who spoke up about saying, look, I know business, maybe you guys could, you know, take some of my expertise and I could help out. Great offer, and you need more people like him. I've negotiated around the world. I've worked in Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand. I've lived in Mexico and sold real estate in Mexico. I too know the art of the deal. And one of the things you don't deal with is you don't come in already saying, well, we're ready to give up some stuff here if you're willing to give up some stuff so we can get what we want. Because you sound and you look and you are weak going into negotiating like that. Hence, they already are thinking of you that way and are already thinking, how much more can we skin off? I heard 2 days ago, I didn't know this, I heard originally, you know, because when I started, it was 5 years ago, that it was 4 hours for fittings, and now it had been reduced to 2. Well done, guys. Well, I heard it was 8 originally. Well, you know, a normal day that you have to book off and you can't work should be 8. Really, that wasn't wrong. You guys just stood your ground on that. When you gave it to 4, now you're making it so that you can only get a half day, and okay, so maybe you only work 2 or 3 of those, plus you got your drive time and packing up your clothes and everything, so you're probably still close to 4 anyways, and you got your gas and stuff. You know, like it's a full day. 2, are you kidding me? That's a joke. And when we're on fittings, you guys have already been abusing apprentices. People already know what I feel this way about this. 2%, 2% right, for the full union members. They have to pay on any vouchers or whatever, so 2% for them on $46 is under $1. It's right around $1, but it's just under. On $46 for me, it's $15. $15 is, well, on 45, that would be 33%, correct? So I'm getting charged 33% for a fitting, and you're charging yourself, or a full union. And I say yourself, see how I said that? Because it does feel like you and me. And when I get there, I hope I don't fall into that, well, I'm there now, because that's why things have never changed, and that's why your union is not a union. That's why you got dissension. That's why you're having shouting matches on the Sunday that you had. And we're going to be getting to that later, because I'm going to break down that meeting from what I visualized just from watching it at home. And some you're probably going to like, and some you're probably not going to not, but that's what discussions are supposed to be. They're supposed to be about opinions. And then someone shouts, you know, hopefully it doesn't shout, someone expresses an opinion and someone else expresses the other side, and then they discuss, and maybe there's a mutual ground that can be reached,
maybe one person sways the other one and says, comes up with the right points and makes you gotta go, well, you know what? I didn't think of it that way. Let's give this a go. But right now we're doing the states thing where it's just two sides. Actually three sides, but the background guys aren't even there at all, and probably won't be because there's no point to them being anywhere. They're basically being manipulated terribly, and I feel I was there, so I can feel sorry for them because I felt sorry for myself when I was in that position. I'd get transferred. I'd get asked to go to Abbotsford, and then in 3 hours I'd be wrapped. That's a joke, guys. It's a joke. How can you expect anyone to love being part of a union that's the kind of support you get? Hey man, we'll try to get you the $44. They're trying to pay me $33. We'll try to get you $44. You have to give me 4 hours, man. Well, you just booked off a day. You just drove or took transit all the way up to Abbotsford and back, and from wherever you are. It's pathetic, and pathetic should be addressed, because those are the future of the business for this industry. And when we all pass along, they will have bad taste in their mouths, and they'll end up becoming thinking they're superior because they're just, well, we're actors, we're superior. Another thing there, oh well, we are actors, we are no, you're not superior. I'm gonna call you guys out on this. I heard the average mean you were saying is 12,000. So if it's 12,000, wow. Okay, the above and below that's amazing, because I'm sure there's some that are doing quite well. So probably that 12 for the average actors in our town that consider themselves actor and supported by you guys to get everything that they want must be much under 12, which would put them at 8, 6, which means they're probably doing 1 gig, 2 gigs a year. Are you kidding me? People that are doing background and trying to make a living at it and trying to learn to trade through that. And I know you guys don't recognize it. You think it's a terrible way to do it. I don't agree with you. Going to a class to the guy that's only working 1 or 2 days a year might not be the guy to learn a class from. And if some of you are offended right now, well, look, if you made it, if you don't make it, you teach it. It's a rule of thumb around the whole world. If you're great at something, then you're doing it. Why would you not want to be an actor working on Broadway or something? Of course you would. But if you're not making it, or your days have passed, and so you're trying to teach, okay, if your days have passed, that's wonderful. You're passing it forward, wonderful. And again, I just do this. This is self-tape, so it's just, I will not change this tape. I will not change any of the future tapes. It'll be one take, so there will be times I ramble. And for all you young ones that might look at this in the future, just think of your dad or your mom trying to overexpress a point. Doesn't mean they don't love you. Doesn't mean that they don't have a message to give, but you're turning them off and playing with your Nintendo after 5 seconds. I'm still that generation that likes to actually get all their points out, so that hopefully people don't just take 1 or 2 points and nail me to the cross when there's other things I meant to say. I see a flash, so if this stops, I'll be heading on to tape 2. So I'm gonna test you on this. If I'm working 3 days a week, 2 days a week, and I'm doing 10 hours, 12 hours, and I'm not hiding in the tent. Well, we gotta get to that one too. Full union members, you're some of the worst backgrounders, and you should be the absolute best. You preach how much better you are and superior you are, but you come late. You hide in the tent. You let the wrangler know you don't want to do anything, but maybe to turn around. If it's going to go over to overtime, you'll take it. If not, you're the first out the friggin' door, and you haven't done a damn thing all day. You haven't made it to set. That is the image a lot of you give. All of you know. I have some great friends out there that are just like me, and if I get there, I won't change. They need someone to go up there. I give them the nod that I'm available, and I go if I have to go. And if it means I get cut early, it sucks, because I could use the money too. I don't make a lot, but I'm there. They're paying me to be background, so I'm trying to do a good job for the production, for the show. And if you do that, and if you're out there constantly, and they can see that you're paying attention when you're on set, that's where I pay attention. I don't pay attention in the tent. I'm not trying to sell myself. Maybe in the first 5 times I went out, I tried to over chat and tried to feel like I was a part of it. But once I got the understanding, the real business is on the set. When I'm there, I'm tuned in, and I make sure that I give everything I can. And therefore, when somebody's dropping the ball, the guy's looking around to see who can maybe time that walk behind the car better, and whatever. I'm there, and then so I end up getting a lot of that, and then I end up getting a lot with the actors. That's my trick. If anyone's wondering, Dan seems to work a lot. I don't work a lot, by the way, but I do seem to be on the camera a lot, and that's because they can rely on me to repeat my crosses, repeat my interactions, and then I'm alert. Like I'm just somebody that they don't have to. They're tired. I mean, they're working these long days every day. You know, they're exhausted, and the worst thing is have to redo a reshot because the background screwed up totally. Like they weren't there, or they just forgot to do the cross altogether, and the director's pulling his hair out because it looks like shit. So full union members, if you're so great on camera when you're the actors, who swallow your pride, and if you're taking a BG voucher, get your ass out there, do the job, do it well, do it better than some. Show the newbies how it can be done properly. And yeah, I know right now some of you are gonna say, "Who the fuck is it?" I'm nobody, but I still know that some of you right now are listening to this and know exactly what I'm talking about. You know, there are some that just never show up on time and grab their chair, go to the back room, and right away go to sleep for the next 4 hours, and get away with it. Anyone else wouldn't get away with it, but nobody's going to call them out because they've been around a while. They're part of the team. If you have a team where some are treated better than others, and some, well, you guys get more, they get the benefits, and then you don't have a union. And you're like, well, why don't these guys support us? Why don't they vote? So I said, why don't you come out on Sunday and vote? I can't vote, as I said earlier. You literally are, and during your meeting, you're telling people, you know, these people that complain, they never come out and vote. There's guys there that are saying that, and I don't think they realize. We're not allowed to vote. We are not allowed to vote. So when you're picking your committee and you think it's a fair representation and it's the right people and you've got lots of experience, they might be the ones voted in. But the fact is, you'll never know the truth of it because you separated. So it's only your group voting for your group. So your group of buddies voting for your group, and oh, lo and behold, these guys, things must be fine, guys. Look, it's all us. Oh, it's all you, because no one in the lower tiers is allowed to vote for something as important as a committee. Well, I think committee members representing the members need to be voted by all the members that are willing to get out and vote or allowed to vote. And maybe you'd be surprised. Maybe that young guy, he looked pretty whippersnapper to me. Maybe the young guy would be the one that's in. I don't know if he is in. Maybe he isn't. I haven't seen the results. But regardless, maybe guys like him would get through, and we'd have difference of opinions going on. We would iron out some of this non-union stuff, and this non-union stuff kills us. You know, that you think people don't know that we're not a solid union. And some of you are saying, well, you don't need backgrounders. Well, the industry needs backgrounders. Backgrounders make a big difference to the shows, day in and day out. You know, 7 days a week, the show's shooting here. And if it wasn't for the backgrounders, they'd look pretty empty, most of them, right? They can't all look like the world's blowing up. And a lot of your productions, which are, you know, what did the one lady say? I do a whole bunch of stuff for free or whatever, so I imagine she gets reels out of it. And maybe she gets free classes from the people she's helping out with their shows they're putting together. And I think that's wonderful, by the way. But you know, if you're doing 2 or 3 freebies in a year, maybe you're getting your 3, 5, 6. Maybe you're doing the average of 12,000 a year, and you've got X amount of hours to get there at $50 an hour or more when you are getting paid. Plus your buyouts of 3, 4, 5,000. Sorry, mosquito. You know, and then you got a backgrounder who you think is lesser than you, but they're working 30, 40 hours a week. Some of them are. I'm not. I wish I was. But some of them are working 30, 40 hours a week, 50 weeks a year. You know, they're putting in 2,000 hours, right? You guys aren't even close to getting the experience they're getting on a yearly basis. They're visual. They're seeing what the cameramen want. They're seeing what the director's doing. They're watching the actors act. They're on set, knowing exactly what you do to make these things work. The lighting, like you guys are, you're not there as much as you think you are, and probably the way you're going. It's just going to end up having a separate union, or and if you do this thing that I'm hearing about coming up in the spring, you're going to have a problem, with people like me. You're going to have a big problem. I'm hearing, and I already should have my full credits. So, and part of that's because you guys didn't back me when you should have. I've had speaking lines where I only got SAE, and I was told, oh, well, you got SAE, that's okay. I was young and naive and early in the industry, but really? And I've had other ones where I had the three criterias, and my agent sits on it for just a month and 2 days. And then says, oh, you should have pushed me harder. You would have got it for sure. Like, I've done stunts where 5 out of the 13 cars, all 13 cars doing the same thing. Actually, the front 5 cars just had the ACTRA, so they were allowed to go in first and no one was to bother them. They just cruised into their spot. But we're running it, the rest of us are running it 80 clicks on pavement, turning into a sideway gate, skidding in on gravel. And apparently none of us got it, although I actually know, I don't throw people under the bus, but I know of a couple people that were senior and did stunts regularly, so they complained and they were given stunt as long as they were so the rest of us didn't get it. And so I was told off record. But the fact is, these people that are working all the time are actually really talented and are learning and training up. So maybe you just need to readdress the whole way you look at this thing. Maybe everybody I call you out right now on another thing. A bunch of you very older veterans, if you didn't already have your credits, if you did, it didn't matter, but if you didn't already have your credits, when you were on your recruitment drive years back, you guys bought them for $1. Guys, they bought them for $1. It's true. And some of them admitted to me, again, I won't throw them under the bus, but a couple of them said if you really had to, I could. But I really don't need to. All you have to do is go up and talk to some of the veterans. Just start asking them. Were you one of the lucky ones that was able to buy it for $1? Say it in a nice, friendly way away from people so they don't feel cornered. And tell them it'll be off record, but then at least you'll know I'm telling the truth. $1. So you guys are sitting on your high horse and saying we had to get 6 in our day when you bought 2 or 3 of them for $2 or $3. Here, I'll tell you what, inflation, I'll give you $10 for every credit you give me. Will you do it? Let's do it. And maybe that's what you should do for apprentices. Maybe just let the apprentices become members. Because, if they've done 200 plus shows, they know how to behave on set. Get them there. Get more people so you have more of a union. And then, the background ones, tell them the truth. Tell them, if you're going to go this route, you're not getting much right now, sorry. But we'd like you to go this route and get the 1 credit, or just stay non-union, do commercials for the next 2 or 3 years, and then if you get a run of, acting gigs or whatever at that time, make the decision if you want to and go full union that way. Do something like that. Figure it out. But figure it out in a way that's for everyone, because right now it just seems like you're so selfish and you're so uppity. You're class systeming this. You're pyramiding this. You're acting and telling us all that we're not as good as you are. And that's BS. It's absolute BS. I'm only an apprentice, but you guys know me. You've all seen me. I'm right beside the stars. I'm driving with them. I'm chatting with them. We were 3 of us on set just the other day, and it's not my first time with these guys, but on a show. And here I am with the actors, leads, and sitting with them, talking with them, driving with them. How the hell am I not going to get your full union status when I'm representing you guys in a very, very, us actually, because I want to do it. I believe in union. I'm representing us in a strong way. A person that listens, that feeds off it correctly, that doesn't screw up, that speaks when he should speak, doesn't speak when he shouldn't speak, and can do the, silent on camera stuff that's required to make the actor look good, which is, at that point, that's what I'm there for, to make them look good. I'm not trying to steal nothing, because, that would just have me not work with them. But I'm the type that they're happy and they won. They actually request me by name. Yet, someone that does a show with their friend that maybe makes it to YouTube, maybe tries to get into the circuits and doesn't make it. They are, and once or twice a year, wow, I have to cow down to that? No, Not at all, guys. All right, I've got 24 minutes here. I will probably listen to this one. And, yeah, cheers.